Hey, what's happening, Disney Universe? Me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's first episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's Triple H against Shawn Michaels, HHH versus HBK. We actually had quite a few birthdays this past week, so we'll get through those before we start talking about Raw and SmackDown. But before we get to that, I do want to start this out with saying that I am filming this right after I saw Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, opening day. If you guys didn't see the walkthrough episode that came out before this, that was filmed several days earlier, before I saw it, when I basically talked about how I was excited about going to see it. So I have now seen it. I'm probably going to wait until next week's episode of our walkthrough, the Lego Batman 3 walkthrough, to kind of talk about it a bit more. So I won't go into it too much here. But I will say this, if you had told me going into this that there would be a full in-sync dance sequence, I would not have believed you. I did not see that coming, but we'll get into that a bit more next week when I talk about it a bit more. So, going through the birthdays we had this week, it was Shawn Michaels' birthday, July 22nd. He turned 59 years old. Same day was Akira Tozawa's birthday, he turned 39. Tori Wilson's birthday was July 24th. She turned 49. Next day was Finn Balor's birthday, July 25th. He turned 43. And then today, July 27th, is Triple H's birthday. He turns 55. And in addition to Triple H, it is also Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Namath. I almost said Nick Aldis. Nick Namath's birthday, July 27th. He turns 44 today. So happy birthday to all of those. So Raw this week began with a promo by Gunther, which then led to Damian Priest coming out and a brawl breaking out between the two of them. Again, just trying to build more heat for their world title match. Try to make Damian Priest look more, what's the word? Not legitimate, but, I got something in my eye. I got an eyelash in my eye, sorry. That took me out for a second. Yeah. Alright, I'm back. I think it was an eyelash, but it could have been an eyebrow. My eyelashes and eyebrows are so long, though, that when one gets in my eye, it's, like, really bad. No, okay. Yeah, it's really just about making Damian Priest look more like a... Again, it's not like... The word I'm looking for is not legitimate. It's another word, but I can't think of it. Basically, just making it look like he has a chance of beating Gunther, or at least holding his own up against him. Braun Breaker faced Dragunov in another match in their rivalry. The ref called off the match after Dragunov got destroyed by Braun, giving Braun the win by referee stoppage. Which means that Braun Breaker gets an IC title match at SummerSlam against Sami Zayn, which someone pointed out is actually the first time Sami Zayn has a match at SummerSlam. He has been on the main roster for like 8 years now, but this will be the first time that he actually has a match on the main card of SummerSlam. The only other time that he had a match at SummerSlam was on a pre-show in 2016, I believe, where he like teamed up with Neville. And that just gives you an idea of how long it's been. Which is crazy that he's been with the company so long and is only now just having a match at SummerSlam, which is it's kind of crazy that it's taken so long.
Disheartening position for HBK, though HBK can turn this around.
Sonya Deville beat Ira Valkyria. CM Punk confirmed that he is now medically cleared and that his match against Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam can happen. He then called out Drew, basically saying like, doing the classic, we're not going to wait till insert event here. Drew McIntyre came out, CM Punk was then held back by security, which then led to Adam Pearce coming out, again basically just to reestablish that the match between the two of them is official, but then also adding a stipulation to it that no one was expecting. He revealed that Seth Rollins would be the special guest referee for that match. If that match wasn't already interesting enough. Ow. So now it's like, okay, now what are they going to do here? Because the question was already about, like, this match already has, like, so much behind it, so much heat going into it. Which way are they going to go? Who are they going to have win? And now they're adding Seth Rollins into it. You know, this is, like, Punk's first, like, official match in, like, what? 6-7 months, or will be his first match in 6-7 months. Basically since the Rumble. And it's like, you almost kind of got to have him win. But at the same time, the whole story's been about him screwing with Drew McIntyre. And Seth Rollins, you know, getting caught in the crossfire and basically becoming collateral damage for just CM Punk screwing with Drew. So it almost kind of makes sense to have, maybe not intentionally, but inadvertently, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre kind of work together to get one over on Punk for, you know, everything he's cost them both. I mean, think about it, CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the world title on multiple occasions, and he's also made it that Seth Rollins is no longer able to challenge for the world title for the rest of the year. Or ever, I forget what the whole stipulation was, but yeah, they've both lost a lot of things, important things, because of him. So I could totally see them both, you know, wanting to get one over on him now. So again, it's just going to be a real interesting match at SummerSlam. Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain beat Xavier Woods, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. Ow. Uh-oh. No, you don't. After the match, Chad Gable and the Creed brothers came out and confronted Akira Tozawa and Otis. Basically, Chad came out and said, I'm giving you one more chance to, you know, come back with us and, you know, be my pupil again, which Tozawa and Otis turned down. This then led to Chad Gable and the Creed brothers attacking Otis and Akira, which then led to the lights dimming, the White Six coming out, and Uncle Howdy dropping Chad Gable with his sister Abigail. So, yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this. I think I said this before, but this whole thing with, like, Otis, you know, Chad Gable and Otis thing, I don't know. Because there was so much build-up going into this with, like, Otis finally snapping and, you know, attacking Gable. But we never really got that moment of Otis, like, just fully going off on Gable. I mean, yeah, he basically walked away from him and left him, and, you know, left in line for the Wyatt Six to take him out. But we never got that moment of, you know, Gable pushing Otis too far and then Otis snapping on him. Which, you know, I felt like that's what they were building up to this whole time. Just getting that one moment where Otis finally just lets loose on him. And now I feel like we don't get that, and now I get the feeling that Otis and Chad Gable, their paths are going to separate now that Gable's well involved with the Wyatt Six. And Otis, I don't see him really doing anything right now. Because now I feel like the story is no longer about Otis and Gable or Gable and Alpha Academy, it's about Gable and the Wyatt Six. So it's a shame. I get the feeling we're never going to get that moment of Otis. I mean, even if we did, it doesn't really mean anything now because they've already broken up. The split's already happened. We just never got that explosion of it. Moving on, Pete Dunne and Bronson Reed were scheduled to face off. That never happened though, as Sheamus came out and attacked Pete Dunne and Bronson Reed, getting revenge on Dunne, turning on him and attacking him last week.
Shawn Michaels is running into trouble. Michaels is going to have to dig deep here.
There was a promo between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, with Dominic Mysterio caught in the middle. Basically, Dominic was given the choice to either stay with Liv or come back to Rhea Ripley. Dominic turned into a heartbreaker and basically told Liv, "Screw you," and went back to Rhea Ripley, which Rhea Ripley reacted to by licking his face. There is your viral moment. There you go, WWE. I mean, that image has already gone everywhere. It's already circulated everything, and it's everywhere now. So the segment ended with Rhea Ripley licking Dominic Mysterio's face in admiration, I guess, and Liv Morgan walking off crying. Wow, okay. Now, there are still people who feel that this is, part of a bigger story, and that at SummerSlam, when Rhea and Liv officially, actually have their match, Dominic's still going to be a very big key player into this, and it'll be at SummerSlam where we'll truly see where his allegiance lies. Zelina Vega beat Zoe Stark after some interference from both of their allies. And some distractions and ringside brawling. It's good to see Zelina Vega get a win, especially against someone who's as established as Stark. Ow. Oh, no, you don't. Get up, old man. Raw. And in the main event, Jey Uso and Sami Zayn beat JD McDonough and Finn Balor. After the match, Braun Breaker came out and attacked Sami Zayn to close out the show. Once again, highlighting the Intercontinental title match between the two of them at SummerSlam. Moving on to SmackDown. LA Knight beat Santos Escobar, fending off interference attempts by Logan Paul and Elektra Lopez. After the match, Santos Escobar and Logan Paul attacked LA Knight and left him laying, which is probably as vulnerable as LA Knight has been, appeared in several months. I don't remember the last time he's been, laid out and, been the one who was not standing, and at the end of a segment he was involved in. Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, no, you don't. So the majority of SmackDown was a tag team gauntlet to determine the number one contenders for #DIY's tag titles. In the gauntlet, Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin beat Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. The Street Profits then beat Crews and Corbin. They also went on to beat Pretty Deadly, as well as Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, before they were taken out by Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, in order which allowed... Oh. Yeah, off me. I wasn't even looking. So Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu beat the Street Profits, meaning that they get the title shot against #DIY next week on SmackDown. And we'll have to see where they go with that, because with how much effort WWE is putting into legitimizing this new bloodline, I could very well see them beating #DIY, which would stink because, they just got the titles, and we feel like #DIY should get to hold the titles for a few months. I don't know. WWE might be more, they might be have more intent on legitimizing the bloodline than giving #Guy01 a lengthy title reign. We'll have to see what the decision ends up being there next week. And in the main event, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton beat Bayley and Mia Yim. So yeah, SummerSlam, I mean, I said this last week, and I think I've said this the last few weeks, it's looking to be really interesting, and there's a lot of matches where it's genuinely hard to tell which direction WWE is going to go in. Like, there's so many ways it can go. I mean, it's not just which way they go, it's how they go in that direction. Like, it's not just like for the example, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. It's not just like who wins or loses, it's how they win or lose. Does Seth interfere? Does he cost someone? Does he accidentally cost someone? There's so much potential stories there. Or so many potential stories there. So there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on leading into SummerSlam. So it'll be really fun to see where they go in the next couple weeks as they, continue building up the card. But it's already looking really interesting. Count it. The face that runs the place. The boss. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, make videos up to time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus, and next week where we, I believe, finish our LEGO Batman 3 walkthrough. I thought this week's episode might be the end, but I think we've got one more at least. I don't know if there'll be anything after that. We'll have to see. I haven't really done the math of if next week's episode will be the end, but I'm pretty sure it will be, which will be kind of nice because next week will be the 30th episode, so nice round number to end that series on. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. DC01 and the King of Kings, the game, and Triple H signing out. Bye guys.